है तेरी कहानी पग पग प्यारे दंगल 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 सूरज तेरा चढ़ता ढलता गर्दिश में करते हैं तारे दंगल 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 दंगल.
Great morning, my dear friends. Bhupesh, I am the side. So today we'll be starting with lecture number 2 on fixed income securities, the subject which we have started in the last lecture number 1. And we were on fixed income securities, defining elements, the basic concepts involved in that. What is the meaning of a bond we have discussed in the last class, and what are the features of a bond? What I mean by coupon rate, what I mean by coupon frequency, currency, maturity date, and all different related terms with bond. In lecture number 2, we will be discussing with 2 learning outcomes. One is, what is the meaning of bond indenture? What I mean by bond indenture, and the second is, what is the meaning of covenants? What are the clauses involved in that? So today's lecture is most important lecture because we will be covering with 2 learning outcomes in this single go. So please take out your registers. Please at least write down the handwritten slides which I have prepared for you. So fixed income securities, please take out your registers. Lecture number 2, learning outcome number B. Because we have covered learning outcome number in the last lecture. In today's lecture, we'll be covering with 2 learning outcomes, learning outcome number B and learning outcome number C. So learning outcome number B is describe the contents of bond indenture. So firstly, we will be discussing what is the meaning of bond indenture. And then learning outcome says compare affirmative. Affirmative means positive. It means do's and negative covenants. Now, what is the meaning of covenants? These are the clauses, these are the terms and conditions which are specified in a bond indenture. Whether you have seen any agreement between 2 parties, for example, one is landlord and second is tenant. A simple rent agreement, that agreement is named as an indenture. And within that agreement, there are so many clauses involved in that. That tenant cannot do this, tenant cannot do this, tenant has to do this, tenant has to pay the rent, tenant cannot do subletting, tenant has to protect the property. So there are different clauses involved in that. Because landlord is giving his house to tenant for use. On the same basis, when the bond holder, when the investor, they are giving their funds, they are giving their savings to the issuer, because issuer is issuing bonds to these persons who have invested, So there is an agreement between these two. So there must be an agreement between these two. There must be an agreement between these two. That what is the meaning of a bond? The agreement between company, the agreement between issuer and the bond holders. So that agreement, that agreement is named as bond indenture. And the clauses which are involved in that bond indenture, the clauses which are there in bond indenture are named as covenants. And these clauses can be of 2 types. So we will be seeing that. Just write down first point, what is the meaning of a bond indenture? It is a contract. In the last class also I told you what is the meaning of a bond. Bond, as per Oxford Dictionary meaning, it is a contract between the 2 persons, and the one person agrees to do this and other person agrees to do this. If both agrees to do this and they are fixed on a particular terms and conditions, it is a bond. So bond indenture, those terms and conditions on which both are agreeing, that is bond indenture. So A point, it is a contract between a bond issuer, borrower, a corporate, a semi-government, a quasi-government, a supranational body, a supranational government, and it is a contract between bond issuer and bond holder, lender, which defines the bond features and issuer's obligation. Just see, issuer's obligations. There are some obligations involved in the hands of issuer. So these obligations are to be performed by the bond issuer. Now I have prepared a flow chart for you, a very beautiful flow chart. On the one side I have written issuer. This is an issuer, and the other side I have shown bond holders, investors. Now this issuer can be a different party, it can be a corporate, it can be a corporation, it can be a government, it can be a quasi-government, which I have already discussed. Now the agreement between these two, the contractual agreement, this is the contractual agreement between these two parties, is named as bond indenture. And generally in bond indenture, the obligations are given of issuer, that what are the duties of an issuer and what are the rights of investors, what are the rights of bond holders, what are the rights of fixed income security holders. This type of agreement is bond indenture. Now what are the specific points given in a bond indenture? That is again a very important point. So please write down firstly B point. Bond indenture specifies. Bond indenture specifies that which is the entity which is issuing the bond. Bond indenture specifies the entity issuing the bond. Sources of bond for repayment. It means when a bond is being issued, when a bond is issued by an issuer to the bond holder, now that has to be, that must have been maturity date. Now on the maturity date, from where they will pay this amount, from what are the sources for the repayment, that again has to be mentioned in a bond indenture. What are the assets which are collateral, which are pledged against this? That the company cannot sell those assets because they are pledged against bond, that has to be specified. And in case of credit enhancement, now what is the meaning of credit enhancement? Supposingly, for credit enhancement, I want to just explain to you. Supposingly, this is a company, holding company, and this company is in India, and this company has started its own subsidiary company in let's say in South Africa. Let's say in South Africa, a subsidiary company. Now this subsidiary company wants some working capital loan, and from Bank of South Africa they have applied for a working capital loan, but this bank is not granting them working capital loan because this company is a new subsidiary company. So in case this holding company of India gives a guarantee, if this company gives a guarantee to South African bank, that this subsidiary, if this subsidiary does not pay, I will pay. So in that case, that South African subsidiary company credibility has been increased. So it is named as credit enhancement. It is named as credit enhancement. So we should be aware of what is the meaning of a credit enhancement. As the name indicates, credit enhance. Credit limits has been enhanced. So the point is, let's write down firstly the bond indenture specifies. Now I have cleared you what is the meaning of a bond indenture. These are the main points which are specified in a bond indenture. What are the sources from where the repayment is to be done? Who is the issuer? What are the assets which are collateral? What is the credit enhancement? And the covenants. Covenants means clauses which the issuer has to perform. Now what is the meaning of covenants? In the next point I have told you, covenants means clauses. This is learning outcome number C, which we are going to start with, because this learning outcome B we have covered. Now we are going to start with learning outcome number C. Covenants. Now what is the meaning of covenants? When I say covenants, I mean those clauses, those conditions, those terms which are specified in a bond indenture, which can be of two types. One is positive sense and second is negative sense. When I say positive, it means affirmative. When I say negative, it means that these are the negative. These things should not be done by the issuer, and these things should be done by the issuer. So this is affirmative, and this is negative. No. What can be the different types of examples of affirmative? That this issuer has to pay interest regularly on the basis of coupon frequency. This issuer has to pay the principal on the basis of maturity date. So these can be the positive covenants. And when I say negative covenants, I mean that this company, the issuer cannot sell the assets which are collateral, which are pledged. The company cannot issue more debt. So these are the negative. When I say negative covenants, they are to the larger decisions. And these affirmative covenants are to some extent are involved in the smaller decisions. So just write out point number 2. Covenants. A point. These are the terms and conditions specified in bond indenture, which can be of two types: affirmative and negative. Do's, affirmative means do's and negative means don'ts. Now, covenants are the provisions of a bond indenture that protect, this word is important, that protect the rights of the bondholder and puts the obligation in the hands of the issuer. So it means they are protecting it. Now covenants can be of two types. One is positive do's, which are named as affirmative covenants. Affirmative covenants are administrative actions which issuer must perform, and they are to the smaller decision aspect. That this issuer must do this. For example, I have written that this issuer must make interest and principal payment. That this issuer must pay insurance premium. I have just written the example that these can be the affirmative covenants. Now, what is the meaning of negative covenant? That issuer cannot do this, cannot do this, cannot do this. So negative covenants are restrictions. Negative covenants are restrictions on a bond issuer operating decisions. For example, prohibiting the issuer not to sell or not to issue further debt, or prohibiting from selling the assets pledged as collateral. So these are to the larger context. Affirmative are to the smaller context, smaller decisions, and negative covenants are to the larger extent, larger decisions. Let's see the Google Baba. What Google Baba is saying to us, that what is the meaning of a bond indenture? Bond indenture, it is between bond issuer and bond holders, and indenture is a legal and a binding contract specifying the features of a bond such as this. So let's see the indenture from Investopedia, that what Investopedia is saying to us about bond indenture. Indenture refers to these documents featured by this, covenants and bankruptcies. What are the bond indentures? So all that which I have just told you, that is given to be in a bond indenture as per Google Baba. Hope you have enjoyed this. We have covered learning outcome number B and learning outcome number C. So we will be starting with learning outcome D, E, and F for next lectures, lecture 3, 4, and 5. Be happy, be jolly, be cheerful. Be happy, be jolly, be cheerful.